1. Introduction. My name is Cindy. I am 26 years old. My story begins with a man named Tony. I want to tell you about the very first time I saw him. It was a normal day, like many others. I was at my favorite coffee shop. This place was small and cozy. It was always warm inside, and the smell of fresh coffee was always in the air. The coffee shop was located near the train station. I often went there after work. It was a good place to sit alone, drink my coffee, and read a book. I enjoyed these quiet moments very much. On that particular afternoon, I was sitting by a window. A ray of sunlight came through the glass, making my table bright. I had my book open, and I was reading a very interesting part of the story. I was completely lost in my own world for a few moments. Then the door opened, and a man walked in. He came into the coffee shop, and I looked up. This was Tony. It was the very first time my eyes saw him. He moved with a quiet step. He had dark hair and a simple, dark jacket. He looked around the room for a moment. My eyes went to his face. What I noticed most were his eyes. They were a beautiful shade of brown. They looked kind and gentle, but I also saw something else in them. There was a deep sadness, a quiet pain. He looked tired, not from a long day, but like he carried a very heavy weight inside him. It was a weight I could not understand. He walked towards the counter to order his coffee. I watched him, but he did not see me then. He stood for a moment, waiting. Then he turned his head a little. His eyes met mine across the tables. For a short moment, our eyes stayed together. Then he smiled. It was a small smile, but it was very warm. When he smiled, my heart beat quickly. It felt like a drum inside my chest. It was a feeling I had never felt before. It was a feeling of something new and important. I did not know anything about this man. I did not know his name or where he came from. But in that moment, I felt a strong pull towards him. His smile made me feel a special connection. I had a strong feeling that this meeting was not just a simple accident. I felt that this man, Tony, would become a very important part of my life. This moment, with his kind eyes and sad smile, marked the true beginning of our story together. I did not know how much my life would change, but I knew that day was the start of something truly important. This was the day our shared path began. 2. A kind man. Tony came to the coffee shop many times. We started to talk more and more. It became a regular thing. Every day, or almost every day, I would see him. He always sat at the same table. Sometimes I would be reading. Other times I would be working. He always gave a small, kind smile when he saw me. Our talks grew longer. He was a very gentle man. His words were always soft and thoughtful. He was polite in every way. He always asked about my day. He wanted to know about my work, my hobbies, and even my dreams for the future. He listened very carefully. He never interrupted. He just listened with his kind eyes. I felt very comfortable when I was with him. His presence made me feel safe. It was a new feeling, a feeling of calm and trust. It was nice to have someone listen so well. He remembered small details I had told him. This showed me he truly cared about our conversations. It made me feel special. But there was also a part of Tony that was a mystery. When it was my turn to ask about him, he changed. He did not talk about his family or his past. If I asked a direct question, he would often look away. His smile would disappear for a moment. He might answer with only a few words, or he would quickly ask me another question about myself. This made me think, why was he so open about my life but so closed about his own? It felt strange. I could not understand why he kept so much hidden. I started to feel that he was keeping a big secret. It was not a bad feeling, more like a puzzle. I wanted to know the pieces of his life. I wondered what it could be. Was it something sad? Something difficult? I did not want to push him. I did not want to make him uncomfortable. But the feeling grew stronger each day. I felt that there was something important, something very personal that he was hiding from me. It was like a wall between us. 3. A special night. One evening, the sky turned dark. Rain started to fall, first slowly, then very hard. I was walking alone, trying to get home. I did not have an umbrella, so I was getting wet very fast. My clothes became heavy, and my hair was full of raindrops. I looked around, hoping to see a bus or a taxi, but the street was empty. I felt a little cold and sad. Suddenly, someone was next to me. It was Tony. He held a big, black umbrella over my head. He smiled gently. "Cindy, you are getting very wet," he said. His voice was calm and kind. I felt surprised, but also very happy to see him. His presence was like a warm blanket in the cold rain. We started to walk together. The sound of the rain on the umbrella was soft. The street was quiet, and the wet ground shone like a mirror under the streetlights. It was a beautiful sight. Walking with Tony, I felt safe and comfortable. We did not talk much at first, just walked side by side through the empty street. The air was fresh and clean after the rain. After some time, Tony looked at me. His eyes were serious, but still kind. He spoke softly. "Cindy," he said, "when I am with you, I feel peace. You bring a quiet feeling to my heart." My heart warmed immediately. His words were very special to me. This moment felt different, deeper than our other talks. It made me feel that our connection was growing stronger, like a plant growing roots in the ground. I wanted to know more about him. I wanted to understand why he felt peace with me. I wanted to know about his past, about his life before me. So I asked him, "Tony, can you tell me more about your life?" "About your family." I waited for his answer. But Tony just smiled. It was a small, gentle smile, but it did not reach his eyes fully. He quickly changed the subject. He started talking about the weather, about how the rain was good for the plants. He talked about his day at work, about small things. He did not answer my question about his past. I felt a small sadness then. Our connection felt deeper, yes, but he still kept a part of himself hidden. He avoided talking about his past. I knew he was still holding something back, something important. The rain continued to fall softly around us as we walked on, and the secret stayed between us, unspoken. 4. His sad eyes. Weeks turned into a month, then 2. Tony and I spent more and more time together. We walked in the park, shared meals, and talked for hours. My feelings for him grew stronger every day. I felt a deep connection with him, a special bond that I had never known before. He was kind, gentle, and always made me laugh. His presence brought peace to my life. However, as we grew closer, his secret became more noticeable. It was like a quiet wall between us. He listened to my stories, but he rarely shared his own. He spoke about his day, his work, but never about his past. I wanted to understand him completely. I wanted to know everything about the man I was falling for. This feeling grew inside me, a quiet wish to break down that wall. One sunny afternoon, we were sitting on a bench in the park. The birds were singing, and children were playing nearby. It was a beautiful day, full of light. I felt brave in that moment. I looked at him and I decided to ask. It was a simple question, but it felt very big. "Tony," I began softly, "why do you never talk about your family?" His smile, which was just there a moment ago, quickly disappeared. It was like a light turning off. He did not look at me. Instead, he looked down at his hands, which were resting on his knees. He was silent for a long time. Then he whispered, so quietly I almost did not hear him, "It is hard for me." When he finally lifted his head a little, I saw his eyes. They were not kind and warm like usual. They were filled with a deep, sad pain. It was a pain that went very deep, a pain that he had hidden for a long, long time. In that moment, I understood. His secret was not just a story, it was a heavy burden. It was something that hurt him very much. My heart felt heavy for him. I wanted to hug him, to tell him everything would be okay. But I knew I could not push him. I could not make him talk if he was not ready. His sad eyes told me that this was a very sensitive part of his life. I did not ask him again. I knew I had to be patient. I decided to wait. I would wait until he felt ready to share his past with me. I wanted him to trust me completely in his own time. I knew that true love meant understanding and waiting, even when it was difficult. I would be there for him, no matter what his secret was. I would let him open his heart when he was ready. 5, he tells me. It was a quiet evening. The sky was dark and the moon shone softly. Tony and I were sitting by the river. The water moved slowly, making a gentle sound. There were not many people around. It felt like we were the only two in the world. A soft breeze blew past us. Tony looked at the water for a long time. I waited. I did not say anything. I knew he had something important to tell me. His eyes looked sad but also ready. He took a deep breath. Then he turned to me. His voice was quiet at first. "Cindy," he began, "I am not like other men." He paused, looking for the right words. "My past is heavy. It is very heavy." He looked down at his hands. I kept my eyes on him, showing him I was listening, showing him I was there. He continued, his voice a little stronger now. "I grew up without love. It was a difficult childhood." He told me about being alone, about not having a family to care for him. "I had to fight for everything," he said, "for food, for a place to sleep, for a chance to learn." He explained that he learned to be strong by himself. He learned not to depend on anyone. "Because of this," he went on, "I hide my heart." He looked into my eyes, and I saw his pain clearly. "I am afraid of being hurt again. I am afraid to lose love because I never really had it. I fear that if I open my heart, it will be broken." He told me he was afraid that if I knew everything, I would leave him. He thought his past would scare me away. My heart felt full of understanding. I reached out and gently held his hand. His hand was warm in mine. I looked at him, trying to show him all my feelings without words. "Tony," I said softly, "your past does not scare me." I squeezed his hand a little. "I see your kindness now. I see the good man you are today." I told him that the past does not define who he is. I told him that I saw his strong heart, his gentle spirit, and his caring nature. He looked at me, and his eyes started to fill with tears. One tear ran down his cheek. It was a tear of sadness, but also of relief. He did not say anything for a moment, just looked at me. It felt like a heavy weight had been lifted from his shoulders. The secret was finally out. He had shared his deepest pain with me. In that moment, our connection grew even stronger. It was a new beginning for us, built on honesty and trust. 6. Our love grows. After that special night, Tony started to change. He began to open up more about his life. He did not keep his thoughts so hidden anymore. He started to talk about his past. He spoke about his struggles. He told me about his lonely days. He also shared his fear. He was afraid that no one would truly accept him. He worried that people would leave him when they knew his full story. He thought his past was too heavy for anyone to understand or love. I listened to every word Tony said. I did not interrupt him. I just sat and heard him with all my heart. I showed him that I understood his feelings. I showed him that I was always there for him. I did not leave him. I stayed by his side every single day. This made him feel safe. He saw that my love and care for him were real and true. He learned that he could trust me completely. Slowly, day by day, our love grew much stronger. It became a very special kind of love. It was not a weak love that could break easily. It was a love built on two important things: trust and patience. We learned to trust each other more and more. Tony learned to trust me with his deepest thoughts and feelings. I learned to be patient, allowing him to share when he felt ready. This patience was a big part of our growing connection. Tony's past was no longer a secret between us. It was not a hidden thing that kept us apart. Instead, it became a part of his life story that I knew. I understood his journey. Knowing his past did not make me scared. It did not push me away from him. Quite the opposite happened. His past brought us much closer together. We understood each other on a deeper level than before. Our hearts became more connected. His difficult past was not a problem for our love. It was, in a way, a reason for our strong love. It helped us to build a foundation of honesty and understanding. We faced a difficult truth together, and this made our bond unbreakable. It showed us that we could overcome challenges. Our love became stronger because it was real. It was built on everything we shared, both happy and sad. We were ready to build our future together with no more secrets between us. 7. A question for me. The world felt new and fresh. It was a beautiful spring day. The sun shone brightly. I walked to the park, my heart light. Tony had asked me to meet him there. The park was full of life. Green leaves were on the trees and colorful flowers were open. Birds sang happy songs. Everything felt perfect. I saw Tony waiting near a big oak tree. He looked at me and his eyes were full of a new light. He seemed nervous but also very happy. A big smile was on his face. I smiled back. My steps became faster. I felt excited. When I reached him, he took my hands. His hands were warm and strong. I looked into his eyes. I saw no sadness, no fear, only love. This was the man who had shared his past. He had learned to trust. He had found peace. He took a deep breath. "Cindy," he began, his voice soft but clear. "I do not want to hide anymore. My secret is only a story of the past. It does not control me. You helped me to be free." My heart beat fast. I listened to every word. He looked at me with so much love. He continued, "You are my future, Cindy. You are the light in my life. You make me feel brave. I want to build a life with you. I want to share every day." Then he looked deeply into my eyes. He asked the most important question. "Will you stay with me always, Cindy? Will you be my partner, my love, forever?" My eyes filled with tears. These were tears of pure joy. All the waiting and understanding had led to this moment. I did not need to think. My answer was clear in my heart. "Yes," I whispered. "Yes, Tony, 1,000 times yes." He smiled, a wide, true smile. He pulled me close and held me tight. We stood there for a long time. The spring air was around us. The flowers smelled sweet. The birds continued to sing. It felt like the whole world was celebrating. This was a new beginning. We had faced the past. Now we would build our future together. His dark secret was truly just a story from long ago. Our love was our bright future. 8. Our future together. Our journey together was long. It was not always easy. We faced many moments. Some were happy and some were hard. But through it all, I learned a very important lesson. This lesson stays with me always. It is simple but strong. Love is stronger than fear. Fear can make people hide. It can make them keep secrets. It can make them feel alone. Tony knew this fear very well. He lived with it for many years. His past was full of sadness and pain. He carried a heavy secret in his heart. This secret made him quiet. It made him afraid to open up. His dark secret was a part of his past. It was a painful part. It was not something bad about him. It was something that happened to him. I understood this. I did not judge him for it. Instead, I gave him my love. I gave him my acceptance. I showed him that he was safe with me. Slowly, my love helped him. My understanding helped him to heal. It was like a light came into his life. The dark clouds began to go away. He started to trust me more each day. He shared more of his thoughts. He shared more of his feelings. He learned that he did not have to hide anymore. He learned that his past did not define him. What defined him was his kind heart. What defined him was his strength. What defined him was his ability to love. Today, when I look at Tony, I see a different man. I no longer see the sadness in his eyes. I no longer see the pain he once carried. Now I only see hope. I see joy. I see a bright future in his eyes. He smiles often now. His smile is full of true happiness. It is not just a polite smile. It is a smile from his heart. We are building our future together. It is a future filled with love. It is filled with trust. It is filled with shared dreams. We will face new things. We will have new experiences. We will always support each other. We will always remember the lesson we learned. Love is the strongest thing. It can heal old wounds. It can bring light to dark places. Our story is now about moving forward. It is about a new beginning. It is about two people who found each other. They found love in unexpected ways. They helped each other grow. Tony's journey was difficult. My journey was also part of it. But together, we made it beautiful. We are ready for everything. Our future together is bright, and it is full of promise. I am so happy to share it with him, my love, my future.